My brother stole my wife and got her pregnant. My parents said he's happy now, let it go. So I cut off every single one of them, sent a group text saying congratulations, you traded your son for a home wrecker, and blocked them forever. Now they're blowing up my lawyer's phone begging. Eric. My younger brother. 2 years younger, but always decades behind. The screw up. Couldn't hold a job. Couldn't finish college. Couldn't commit to anything except excuses. I was the opposite. Engineering degree. Stable career. Bought a house at 26. Married Amanda, my college girlfriend, at 28. 8 years together. No kids yet, but we were trying. Perfect on paper. Perfect target. Eric moved in 6 months before it all exploded. Another job lost. Another eviction. Showed up with 2 suitcases and the pathetic look he'd weaponized since childhood. Amanda said yes before I could say no. Just temporary. He's family. Family. That word used to mean something. 2 weeks turned into 4 months. While I worked 60-hour weeks supporting all 3 of us, Eric was in our guest bedroom with my wife. I found out the worst way possible. Amanda told me she was pregnant. I was thrilled. We'd been trying for a year. I called everyone. My parents. Friends. Started planning the nursery. 3 days later, Eric and Amanda sat me down in my living room. The baby wasn't mine. They'd been sleeping together for 3 months. They were in love. Wanted to be together. Sorry, but it was real. I needed to accept it and move on. I sat on my couch. My house. Listening to them explain why they were destroying my life. They looked calm. Rehearsed. We didn't mean for this to happen, Amanda said, reaching for my hand. I pulled back like she'd burned me. How long have you been planning to tell me? Eric answered. We wanted to be sure. To know it was real. I laughed. Actually laughed. You sleep with my wife for 3 months. Get her pregnant. Now you're sure? Don't make this harder, Amanda said. We're trying to be respectful. Respectful. I told them to leave. That night. Immediately. Eric tried his routine. Come on, man. We can talk about this. Get out before I throw you out. Amanda cried. Real tears. Where are we supposed to go? I don't care. Mom and Dad's. A hotel. Hell. Just leave. They left. I called my parents at 11 p.m. Mom. Eric and Amanda have been having an affair. She's pregnant with his baby. I need you not to take their side. I need you to have my back. Just once. Silence. Then, honey, are you sure? That doesn't sound like Eric. He admitted it 2 hours ago. In my living room. After sleeping with my wife in my guest bedroom for 3 months. More silence. We need to hear his side before jumping to conclusions. His side. My mother wanted his side of the story about sleeping with my wife. I hung up. Next day, Eric and Amanda went to my parents. Told their version. Fallen in love. Just happened. Felt terrible but couldn't deny their feelings. My parents believed them. Or wanted to. Or just didn't want the mess of choosing sides. I drove there that afternoon. Mom answered. Before you say anything, we talked to them. They explained. I know you're hurt, but people fall in love. It happens. You can't control who you love. She was my wife. He lived in my house. They betrayed me. I understand you're upset. But Eric is finally happy. Really happy. For the first time, he is something good. Someone who loves him. And Amanda said things with you had been difficult. That you were distant. Working too much. My brain stopped. You're blaming me? For my brother sleeping with my wife? No one's blaming anyone. But marriages are complicated. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe you weren't meant to be. Dad appeared. Son, your mother's right. This is painful, but let it go. Eric's your brother. Amanda's carrying his child. We need to move forward as a family. Move forward as a family? Yes. We can get through this if everyone forgives and heals. I stared at these people. People who raised me. People I thought I knew. Strangers. You want me to forgive them? Play happy family with the brother who stole my wife and the wife carrying his baby. We want you to be the bigger person, Mom said. Like always. The bigger person. Every time Eric messed up, I was understanding. Every time he needed money, I helped. Every time he failed, I picked up pieces. Now, after he slept with my wife and destroyed my marriage, I was supposed to be the bigger person again. No. Excuse me? No. I'm not forgiving him. Not moving forward. Not being the bigger person. Don't be childish, Dad said. This is family. Then you chose the wrong son. I walked away. Mom called after me. Where are you going? We need to talk. I didn't answer. Got in my car. Left. That night, Eric called. I didn't answer. He texted, "Bro, come on. Don't let this come between us." Blocked. Amanda called from another number. "Please. We need to talk. I still care about you. File for divorce through a lawyer. Don't contact me." Blocked. Mom showed up next morning. "You can't avoid us forever. They feel terrible. They made a mistake. They love each other. You need to accept it. Get off my property. I'm your mother. You stopped being my mother when you took his side. Leave or I call the police." She left crying. Called me cruel. Said I'd regret this. I didn't. 2 weeks later, extended family knew. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone had opinions. Half thought I was overreacting. Should forgive and move on. Family first. The other half were sympathetic but quiet. Didn't want involvement. Didn't want sides. No one told Eric and Amanda what they did was unforgivable. Not one person. I filed for divorce. Simple. No shared assets. No kids. Just papers dissolving what died when my brother touched my wife. Amanda contested. Wanted support. Claimed she sacrificed her career. My lawyer destroyed that in 15 minutes. Divorce final in 6 weeks. I sold the house. Too many memories. Too contaminated. Took the money. Started planning my exit. 3 months after the betrayal, my parents invited Eric and Amanda to Thanksgiving. They called 2 days before. "We'd love you to come too. Time to put this behind us. Eric and Amanda are building a life. Baby's due in 4 months. We want you part of this." You invited them to Thanksgiving. Our family holiday. They are family, sweetheart. And what am I? Your family too. That's why we want everyone together. To heal. I hung up. That night, I wrote the text. Edited it 40 times. Made it perfect. Then I sent it to the family group chat. All 15 members. Parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandmother. To everyone in this chat, congratulations. You chose Eric and Amanda over me. You decided my brother sleeping with my wife in my house is forgivable. That my pain doesn't matter. That being the bigger person means swallowing betrayal and pretending everything's fine. Here's my response: I'm done. With all of you. Effective immediately. Eric, enjoy your stolen life. Hope it was worth destroying your brother. Amanda, enjoy your baby. Hope every time you look at that child, you remember how you got it. Mom and Dad, enjoy Thanksgiving with the son you chose. Hope his happiness was worth losing me. To everyone who stayed silent, who told me to move on, who made excuses, you're complicit. You chose comfort over what's right. You chose not rocking the boat over standing up for someone destroyed. I don't forgive any of you. Don't want apologies. Don't want reconciliation or healing or moving forward. I just want you out of my life. This is the last message I'll ever send. Don't call. Don't text. Don't show up. I've blocked all of you. If you try, I'll get a restraining order. You made your choice. Live with it. I'm moving on. Without you. Goodbye forever. I hit send at 8:47 p.m. Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Then blocked every number. All 15. My phone exploded for 30 seconds. Texts flooding in. Then silence. They couldn't reach me anymore. I sat there. Empty apartment. Staring at my phone. Waiting for regret. Sadness. Doubt. I felt nothing but relief. Next morning, my lawyer called. 14 calls today from your family. Mother, father, brother, aunt, grandmother. All panicking. Begging me to get you to call back. What did you tell them? That I'm your lawyer, not your messenger. If they want to communicate, send formal written correspondence to my office. I'll review and possibly forward. Perfect. Don't forward anything. You sure? Never been more sure. 2 days later, Thanksgiving came and went. I ordered Chinese food. Watched movies alone. Best Thanksgiving I'd had in years. Lawyer called Friday morning. Your mother showed up at my office yesterday. In person. Crying. Begging for your new address. I didn't give it. She drove to your office? Her and your father. They're desperate. Say they didn't realize you were serious. Thought you needed space. They're sorry. Want to fix things. They had 3 months to fix things. They invited my brother and his pregnant mistress to Thanksgiving instead. I told them if they continue harassing my office, I'd file a complaint. They left. But they didn't stop. Over the next month, they found ways to reach me. Contacted my employer. HR asked if I was okay because my concerned parents said I'd gone missing. Showed up at my old house. New owners called police. Created new social media accounts. I reported and blocked everyone. Sent letters through my lawyer. He returned them unopened. Eric tried hardest. 7 different numbers. Each blocked immediately. Amanda gave birth in February. A boy. Named after our grandfather. Grandmother called my lawyer crying. Begging me to meet my nephew. I didn't respond. 6 months after the text, my parents hired a private investigator for my new address. I found out when a stranger knocked claiming to do a wellness check for my family. I told him to leave or I'd call police. Then I called my lawyer. File restraining orders against all of them. Parents, brother, Amanda, anyone who tries contacting me. Done with warnings. You sure? That's permanent. They made this permanent when they chose him. I'm making it official. Restraining orders granted. My entire family legally barred from contacting me or coming within 500 feet of my home or workplace. I changed my name. Not completely. Just enough they couldn't find me through public records. Moved to a different state. New job. Started over. 2 years now since the Thanksgiving text. I have a girlfriend. Sarah. She knows everything. Thinks I did the right thing. I have friends. Real friends. People who showed up when I needed them. I have a life without people who think betrayal is forgivable if it makes the betrayer happy. My parents still try. Cards to my lawyer's office. Emails to my old work account auto-forwarded to spam. Eric tried LinkedIn last month. I reported his profile. Got him suspended. They'll never stop. Because in their minds, I broke the family. I overreacted. I couldn't be the bigger person. And they're right about one thing. I broke the family. Shattered it. Burned it to ash. Made sure nothing was left to rebuild. Because the foundation was rotten. Built on enabling Eric. Excusing betrayal. Demanding I sacrifice dignity and self-respect for family harmony. I don't miss them. Not one. Don't miss Mom's guilt trips or Dad's lectures about forgiveness. Don't miss Eric's excuses or Amanda's tears. Don't miss family dinners where I pretended everything was fine while my boundaries were trampled. I miss the family I thought I had. The one in my head. The one that would have sided with me when my world fell apart. But that family never existed. I was just too blind to see it. 1 year after the restraining orders, my lawyer called. Your brother and Amanda are getting married. Your mother sent a formal invitation to my office. She's asking, through official channels, if you'd consider attending. I laughed. She had a lawyer draft a wedding invitation? No. Regular invitation with a handwritten note begging you to reconsider. I'm reporting through proper channels per the restraining order. Tell her no. Or don't tell her anything. Send it back marked refused. Already did. But there's more. She's requesting a mediated family meeting. She'll pay for a professional mediator, neutral location, whatever you want. Says the family's falling apart without you. Good. Let it fall apart completely. Your call. But I have to ask, as your lawyer and someone who's watched this, do you ever think about reconciling? Even for closure? I got closure when I hit send on that text. Everything since has been them refusing to accept their actions have permanent consequences. Quiet moment. Fair enough. I'll keep returning their correspondence. The wedding happened without me. I know because Marcus, my former best friend, texted a photo. Marcus was the one person from my old life I'd kept contact with. He'd been at the wedding, invited by my parents in some desperate attempt at normalcy. The photo showed Eric and Amanda at the altar. My parents beaming front row. My nephew, now a toddler, held by my grandmother. Marcus's text, this is messed up. Your whole family here pretending you never existed. Like you're the villain for not forgiving. Thought you should know. I appreciated it. But I didn't need to know. Their ability to rewrite history without me just confirmed I'd made the right choice. 6 months after the wedding, Sarah and I got engaged. Small proposal. Private. Just us on a hiking trip. No family to invite. No drama to navigate. Perfect. We set a wedding date for spring. Started planning. Guest list of 40. Friends, her family, colleagues. Not a single person from my blood family. Sarah's parents asked the question I'd been waiting for. Do you want to invite your family? Even if they've been difficult, it's your wedding. Sometimes big events help reconciliation. My family doesn't exist anymore. The people who share my DNA made their choice 2 years ago. I made mine. Nothing to reconcile. Sarah squeezed my hand. We just want to make sure you won't regret it later. Only thing I regret is not cutting them off sooner. Not setting boundaries when Eric's mess became my problem. Not walking away the first time they chose him. Her father nodded. Then we support you completely. This is your day. Your life. You decide who's in it. That meant more than they'll ever know. First time potential in-laws didn't pressure me to work things out or give them another chance. They just respected my decision and moved on. The wedding was perfect. Small, intimate, drama-free. No unexpected guests. No last minute please. Just people who cared celebrating our happiness. We honeymooned in Italy. 2 weeks not thinking about betrayal or broken families or restraining orders. Just us. Exploring cities. Eating incredible food. Building a life with nothing to do with my past. Last night in Rome, Sarah asked the question I knew was coming. Think they'll ever stop trying? Probably not. In their minds, I abandoned the family. I'm holding a grudge. They'll never accept they created this. Does that bother you? No. Their refusal to take responsibility is exactly why I cut them off. If they'd admitted they were wrong, sided with me instead of making excuses for Eric, we might have found a way forward. But they didn't. They chose comfort over integrity. So I chose myself. I'm proud of you. I know that sounds weird, but I am. Most people can't do what you did. They stay in toxic situations because society says family is everything. Family is everything. But family isn't blood. It's who shows up when your life explodes. Who stands beside you instead of with the people who destroyed you. My family didn't. So they're not my family anymore. We flew home next day. Returned to our life. Our real life. The one we were building together, free from people who demanded loyalty without offering it. 2 years after the wedding, Sarah got pregnant. We hadn't been trying. Weren't preventing. Just letting life unfold. When we told her parents, they cried happy tears. Talked about being grandparents. Started planning a nursery. When we told friends, they celebrated. Threw us a surprise shower. Showed up in all the ways that matter. No one from my blood family knew. I preferred it that way. But somehow, they found out. Don't know how. Maybe Marcus mentioned it. Maybe they were watching social media despite restraining orders. Maybe dumb luck. 3 months into Sarah's pregnancy, my mother violated the restraining order. She showed up at my workplace. Walked into the building, asked for me at reception, refused to leave until I came down. Security called. Sir, woman here claiming to be your mother. Crying. Says it's an emergency. Should we call police? Yes. She has a restraining order. She's not supposed to be within 500 feet of me or my workplace. Understood. We'll handle it. I didn't go downstairs. Didn't engage. Let security and police deal with it while I stayed in my office and worked. Lawyer called an hour later. Your mother was arrested for violating the restraining order. Being held pending bail. Police want to know if you want to press charges. Absolutely. She knew the rules. Chose to break them. She told officers she needed to see you because she's dying. Stage 4 cancer. 6 months to live. Wanted to make peace before it's too late. My stomach dropped. Not because I felt sympathy. Because I knew this was either a lie to manipulate me or truth she'd weaponized to make me the villain for not forgiving her. Is it true? The cancer? Don't know. Could be lying. Could be telling the truth and using it as emotional blackmail. Either way, you don't owe her your presence. Press charges. If she's really dying, she can spend her last 6 months reflecting on why her son won't speak to her. If she's lying, she can spend time in jail for contempt. You're sure? Never been more sure. My mother was convicted. Sentenced to 30 days, suspended pending good behavior. Restraining order extended and strengthened. She was now banned from my workplace entirely. Found out later, through Marcus, she did have cancer. Stage 4. Aggressive. Real. And I still didn't reach out. Because her cancer didn't erase what she'd done. Didn't undo her choice to side with Eric. Didn't make 3 years of harassment acceptable. Dying doesn't grant you absolution. It just means you're running out of time to earn it through genuine change and accountability. She never did either. My mother died 6 months later. Just like the doctors predicted. I wasn't at her funeral. Wasn't contacted. Didn't send flowers or condolences. Marcus texted, your mom's funeral was today. Eric gave a speech about family and forgiveness. Your dad barely held it together. They're all destroyed you weren't there. I didn't respond. Nothing to say. Week after the funeral, my father tried reaching out through my employer again. HR called me in. Your father contacted us. Says your mother's dying wish was for you to reconcile with the family. He's asking if we can facilitate a meeting. No. He has a restraining order. If he contacts this company again, I'll file harassment charges. Understood. We've already told him we can't help. Just wanted you aware. Father never contacted me directly again. But he started leaving voicemails on my lawyer's office phone. Dozens. Rambling messages about regret and loss and how my mother died heartbroken. My lawyer stopped listening after the first 5. Saved them all in a file in case we needed evidence of continued harassment. 3 months after my mother's death, Sarah and I had our baby. A daughter. Healthy and perfect. We named her after Sarah's grandmother. No connection to my family. No olive branch. No invitation for reconciliation. Just a name we loved for a child they'd never meet. My in-laws were incredible. Present for the birth. Helpful but not overbearing. Excited grandparents who respected boundaries and showed up with love instead of demands. That's what real family looks like. When our daughter was 6 months old, I got a letter. Not through my lawyer. Directly to my house. Which meant someone had found my new address despite all precautions. The letter was from Eric. Almost threw it away without reading. But something made me open it. Maybe curiosity. Maybe need to confirm I'd made the right choice. 10 pages long. Handwritten. Eric's messy scrawl covering both sides of each page. Started with an apology. A real one, for once. Acknowledging what he'd done. Admitting he'd destroyed me. Accepting responsibility. Then it shifted. He wrote about how his life fell apart after I left. How Amanda resented him for costing him his family. How they fought constantly. How she eventually left him and took their son. How our parents blamed him for my mother's heartbreak. How our father barely spoke to him. How he'd lost his job. Apartment. Friends. How he'd tried to kill himself 6 months ago and failed. How he was writing from a psychiatric facility where he'd been committed after the attempt. The letter ended with a plea. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know I destroyed you. But I'm asking anyway. Not because I think you owe me anything. But because I need to know it's possible to forgive the unforgivable. I need to believe I can be more than the worst thing I've ever done. I read that letter 3 times. Then I burned it. Because Eric's suffering didn't erase mine. His consequences didn't undo his actions. His regret didn't obligate me to forgive him. He wanted absolution. A sign his life could be rebuilt. Proof even the worst betrayals can be forgiven. I wasn't going to give him that. Not because I'm cruel. But because some actions are unforgivable. Some bridges, once burned, stay burned. Eric made choices. He lived with consequences. Just like I made choices and lived with mine. The difference is, my consequences led to peace. His led to destruction. That's not my fault. That's just justice. I'm 37 now. 5 years since the Thanksgiving text. 5 years since I chose myself over people who demanded I sacrifice my dignity for their comfort. I have a wife who loves me. A daughter who thinks I'm a hero. In-laws who treat me like their own son. Friends who show up without being asked. I have a life I built from scratch after my old one burned down. And somewhere out there, my father is alone. My brother is broken. My ex-wife is raising a child in the wreckage of choices she made. They wanted me to be the bigger person. To forgive and forget. To prioritize their comfort over my pain. I chose something better. I chose to be a person with boundaries. With self-respect. With the understanding that forgiveness isn't mandatory just because someone's sorry or suffering. Sometimes the only way to heal is to cut out the infection completely. Even when the infection is your own family. People ask me sometimes if I regret it. If I ever think about reaching out. If I miss them. The answer is always the same. No. I don't miss the guilt trips. The manipulation. The expectation that I'd swallow every betrayal with a smile because family comes first. I don't miss being the bigger person while everyone else got to be selfish. I don't miss sacrificing myself on the altar of keeping the peace. What I do now is wake up every morning next to someone who chose me. Who stands beside me. Who would never dream of asking me to forgive the unforgivable. I look at my daughter and know she'll grow up seeing what healthy boundaries look like. What self-respect looks like. What it means to choose yourself when everyone else demands you choose them instead. That's my legacy. Not the family I cut off, but the family I created. And it's enough. If you're reading this and someone's telling you to forgive what broke you, to be the bigger person, to let it go for the sake of family, you don't have to. You can choose yourself. You can walk away from people who demand loyalty without offering it. You can cut off family who chose your betrayer over you. And you can build something better in the ashes. My brother stole my wife. My parents chose him. My family demanded I forgive them. So I sent one text and blocked them forever. They're still trying to reach me 5 years later. And I've never looked back. Not even once.